Good morning. I am here this morning to talk a little bit about creativity and play and how we use them in the Arts and Mindfulness retreats. And this is also a bit of a follow-up from the first video I did about a week ago, which was in preparation for the day retreat on Sunday. But I think the principles in that video about kind of holding space and trust and that process of offering whatever you're with in yourself and your life into that transformative group space, which is held obviously with a sense of safety and trust, that those principles apply to any of the retreats. So if you want to watch that one first. And this one is really to focus on the use of play and creativity. You know, why I love it so much and why we use it on the retreats and how we use it. So I wanted to structure this video in sort of two parts. The first part maybe being more about sort of the childlike play aspect, and the second part more about the aspect of deep play. These two things might weave together a bit. We'll see how it goes. This is my trusting improvisation doing this video. So, yeah. So it's good to be with you in this way. So, play, creativity, presence. So on the retreats, we always begin with meditations and with sort of some introductory things so that we can really, as I said in the first video, kind of create a solid, strong space together, and that's in some very simple ways that we do that. I think there's some simple ways in which we just simply meet each other in the group and see who else is there, because essentially we're animals. Human beings are a kind of animal, so we need to kind of check out our space and check that there's a degree of safety in which we can bring ourselves in an authentic way, offer ourselves, explore ourselves in that space, and explore what the self is, perhaps what it is, what is our experience. And there's a space in retreat in which there is perhaps more safety and space for different layers, subtler layers of that experience to be explored, to be felt, to be heard, to be seen. So, play and creativity. I think creativity is so amazing to me because I think firstly it enables us to communicate and be together as human beings through different forms of communication, through different languages. And I think many parts of our experience are so kind of subtle and of so many different kind of forms and qualities that kind of go beyond language a lot of the time. And also, maybe with language we can only be expressing maybe certain aspects of our experience. So what through creativity can be explored and can come into form, can come into the world, can come into relationship, that are difficult maybe for us to express through language and through our normal ways of relating in our everyday lives. So it's really about an exploration in relationship, these retreats. And one of those first relationships is actually also with ourselves. It's with each other, but it's also with ourselves. So creativity. So let's start with, often in the retreats, I start with the forms of creativity, of clay, paint, charcoal. So things that I think hopefully are most comfortable for people to work with. Things like voice and movement. All of us might have certain forms of creativity that we're more comfortable with than others. So it's finding a way that feels safe and comfortable and enjoyable for us to explore creatively. So often on the retreats I have a real array of materials available, and having that safe group space that's initially built is really important, and then having that base of kind of embodied meditation that we approach the creativity from, so that hopefully we can choose the materials that we're drawn to. This is important, that we are choosing and interacting with those materials in a way, in an embodied way, and in a trusting ourselves, trusting the process kind of a way. So there's a line I think I quoted in the last video from Mary Oliver, which is from her poem Wild Geese, where she says, "Let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." So there's something about that playful, discovering, because when we're children, or if you're around children, which I'm sure many of you are in some ways, watching how they're completely, a lot of the time, unself-conscious. So in a way, there's something on this retreat. There's something on these retreats about rediscovering that kind of beginner's mind that maybe can soften up some of that self-judgment, some of that self-consciousness that sometimes we carry as adults. So what is it to play again, to trust ourselves, to trust the others as well, to trust. I think that's probably what stops us doing a lot of things in our lives, and stepping into what is possible is essentially fear, and fear of others. So an aspect of these retreats is about stepping into a place where we can explore possibilities of how we relate to ourselves and others, and how we act in the world, and what we are, in a community that's non-judgmental, that is safe, so we can practice, if you like, or rehearse, maybe embody more of ourselves, more of what's possible, what our potential is, because it's safe. So there's so much to say about playing creativity, but yeah. So there's really support for coming into creative in a playful and trusting way. It's not about creating something that's going to look anything special, or anything particular, anything recognisable. It's not about being good. That's another line of Mary Oliver's poem. You don't have to be good. What a relief. Often when we create things in our world, in our culture, it's with this view of it's going to then be judged by somebody or something, maybe ourselves. So there's something about, sometimes it takes people a couple of retreats, to be honest, and some people get into it very, very quickly and easily. But it's all fine, however you are. If part of your experience in approaching the creative activity is that you're initially meeting the critic in yourself, or that part of yourself that's judgmental, and sometimes we can see where that's come from in our experience, that judgmental, this has got to be this way or that way, or I'm proving something through doing this, but it's actually just about doing it, even if it's just a line on a piece of paper, and then we can explore that. So it's this free discovery of free creativity. So I'm actually going to finish this video here for now, because we're coming up to 10 minutes, and I'm going to do a second one on more of the depth aspect of what creativity can reveal for us. Thank you for listening to this part 1. Bye-bye.